This past summer, my wife and I decided it was finally time to renovate our little terrace. We shrank it down and made it into more of a deck, but that left us with this hideous concrete construction that needed to be destroyed. We rented a jackhammer, broke it up, but that presented another challenge. How do we dispose of all these little pieces? Initially, we decided to get some construction bags, load the chunks up, and bring them off to the Enviro Depot. I realized pretty quickly that this would take forever to do, so I was like, shit. Now, for the past year, I had been wanting to raise the flower beds up from the main yard, and my plan was to check out the local buy-sell ads for someone looking to offload a stack of bricks, and then use those to build up the flower beds. As I was standing there staring at this pile of concrete chunks, I had a thought. What if I buy some mortar and turn the concrete chunks into bricks for the flower beds? Not only would this save me having to dispose of all the concrete, it would save me the labor of moving a bunch of bricks from some other house to our house. Plus, I figured the different sizes and shapes of the chunks would add depth and character to the beds, creating a unique look that bricks could never achieve. I did a quick proof of concept. My wife and I decided it looked pretty cool. Voila, a creative idea that provided two solutions in one. I wasn't any more born with the ability to come up with creative solutions than anybody else. Creativity is a skill that pretty much everybody possesses. It just has to be exercised and developed. For me, there are sort of two layers to developing and strengthening creativity. First layer is the foundation, which is all about making sure the necessary conditions are there to allow creativity to thrive. And the second layer is the practice, which are the exercises and habits that develop and strengthen creativity. The 6 strategies in this video for improving creativity are categorized according to these layers. There are 3 habits that lay the foundation for building creativity, and there are 3 practices that help you feed and strengthen your creativity. Get enough sleep. Sleep is like a magic health hack, only it isn't. It is a basic survival need. Without sleep, we take years off of our lives. Studies have shown that shortening sleep down to 6 hours has a significant impact on our cognitive performance. Creativity is a cognitive skill. It's your brain making loads of connections between ideas and information that it can then spit out when called upon to. Without sufficient sleep, your brain can't establish these connections and your creativity suffers. Meditate. Regular meditation has been shown to increase gray matter in the brain, which is where gray matter exists. Pretty sure my butt doesn't have gray matter, does it? Yo, butt, say something profound. Thought not. Anyway, this gray matter has been shown to increase in a number of areas, including the hippocampus and the prefrontal cortex. These areas are responsible for learning, for memory, decision-making, and creativity, among others. It is thought that the hippocampus is involved in creativity by helping us to generate new ideas and to connect different concepts in novel ways. And when we combine this with the prefrontal cortex's role in working memory, strengthening these areas in the brain are surefire ways to not only lay the foundation for more creativity, but also to increase creativity in general. Movement, exercise, along with sleep, is so fundamental to our health. And when we are healthy, we can retain knowledge better, we can think better, and thereby setting the optimal stage for creativity to flourish. Exercise increases blood flow. Increased blood flow delivers more oxygen and nutrients to the parts of the body that need them. And if you're trying to come up with a solution to some problem, you need your brain. And your brain needs food. Exercise also reduces stress and anxiety. Stress and anxiety have been shown to impair cognitive function and creativity, so managing stress levels is fundamental to building creativity. Sidebar. Getting sufficient sleep and developing a meditation practice are multipliers for stress reduction. Now that we've laid the foundation for creativity to flourish, there are some strategies we can employ that will help exercise and strengthen our creativity. Number 1, start a side project. Engaging in learning something new creates new neural pathways in your brain. More pathways, more power, and more knowledge and skills that can transfer to different areas of your life. Number 2, make lifelong learning a habit. Learn new things regularly. For optimal impact, seek out ideas and knowledge outside of your key discipline and beliefs. Obviously, for whatever you do, you want to keep up with the latest information, but it's no surprise that interdisciplinary research and education pathways have increased through the mid-20th century into the present. Real-life problems are often more complex than a single discipline has the knowledge to solve. Developing a practice of seeking out information and learning from a wide range of disciplines and ideas can help break out of that tunnel vision that can happen when surrounded by people who all possess the same knowledge or opinions as you do. The information you take in will stew around in your head, and interesting ideas and insights can arise as a result. A concept you read somewhere suddenly seems relevant to solving a current problem somewhere else. And finally, cultivate curiosity. This obviously ties into practice too, lifelong learning, but this goes one step further. Practice 2 is using books, videos, and courses, etc. to build knowledge, and that will feed into the cultivation of curiosity 100%. But for this practice, I'm talking about our connection with our everyday life. Creativity is as much about picking up on the little details as those big, grandiose ideas. So in this practice, we want to develop a curiosity about the scenes and objects in our daily life. 2 very simple practices you can do to build the habit of picking up on the small details. 1, at home or at the office, take some time to really look at an object. Sculpture, plant, painting, whatever. Look at it with real curiosity. Describe its shape, colors, what textures are present, and challenge yourself to notice one thing about that object that you hadn't noticed before. How many times have you arrived to work or back home and had the revelation that you don't remember a single thing about the commute? You had effectively a complete blackout. On your commute, either to or from work, tune in to what's going on rather than tuning out. Observe as much as you can on your route and try to notice all the things that are different. Maybe the next stop is full of people, but yesterday was empty. Why might that be? Oh look, they have new posters at that stop. A new pop-up store just popped up. If you get curious about your surroundings, even familiar ones, you'll be amazed at how much can change from one day to the next. And engaging regularly in this practice means you will start to notice the new in the everyday without even trying. Developing the habit of noticing details will pay dividends the next time you're faced with a problem. So there you have it. Six strategies for strengthening your creativity. The best part, all of these can be done for free, except maybe the side project. Depending on what that is, that might cost some money. Of course, you can spend money. If you're trying to improve your sleep, a sleep tracker like the Oura Ring can help you identify your sleep habits, as well as habits that impact your sleep, and thereby helping you improve your sleep over time. A subscription to a meditation service like Headspace also costs money, but they do have a meditation series specifically focused on developing creativity. And movement, well, it costs nothing to go for a brisk walk every day. Shoes, I guess. But I'm also guessing that if you're a shoe wearer, you already have a pair, so there. It may not be wise to kickstart all of these practices at once, so start with 1 or 2, and once those become habits, add the next one, and so on. What do you do to stimulate your creativity? Let me know down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.